We'll be designing a mat foundation for a 23-story building having dimensions 18 meters by 18 meters. So first, click on File and click on New Model. Now select design code as IS456-2000. Click on Design Preferences, Modify Ancho and go to Minimum Cover of Slabs and change the clear cover in top and bottom to be 50 mm. Let's take the preferred bar size to be 22 mm dia bars. So click on OK. So check the units to be currently metric. If not, go to Modify or Show options, select metric defaults and click on OK. It should be showing as currently metric in the units section. Now click on grid only option. The building consists of 16 columns which are equally spaced at a distance of 6 meters center to center, with 12 columns having dimensions 500 mm by 500 mm and 4 columns having dimensions 600 mm by 600 mm. So let's draw 19 grids in both x and y direction having spacing 1 meters center to center. Now click on OK. So with this we can see now a grid of 18 meters cross 18 meters is formed. Now we need to define materials. So we will be using M40 grade concrete and HYST 500 grade rebars. So go to define, click on materials, click on add new material. So not this, click on add new material, change the name to M40. Select the material type to be concrete. So weight per unit volume will be 25 kilonewtons per meter cube. The modulus of elasticity for M40 grade concrete will be 31622.7, 31,622.7 Newton per mm square. Coefficient of thermal expansion will be 0.000055. The compressive strength, concrete cube compressive strength will be 40 Newton per mm square for M40 grade concrete. So click on OK. With this we have added M40 grade concrete. Now we need to add HYST 500 grade rebar. So click on add new material. Enter the name as HYST 500. Select the material type to be rebar. The weight per unit volume will be 77 kilonewton per meter cube. The modulus of elasticity will be 2 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per mm square. Minimum yield stress will be 500 Newton per mm square, whereas minimum tensile stress will be 545 Newton per mm square. These are the typical values for HYST 500 grade rebar. Click on OK. With this we have defined M40 grade concrete and HYST 500 grade rebars. Now click on OK to exit. Now we need to define slab properties. So go to define, click on slab properties, click on add new property. Enter the property name to be mat foundation. Change the slab material to M40 grade concrete. And let's take the thickness to be 1200 mm. Since the loads coming onto the foundation through the columns are very high, as I have already done the design prior to making this video, so a thickness of 1200 mm will be required for this. Otherwise we will have to keep revising the thickness again and again until we get the right thickness. So I'm directly entering the value of 1200 mm. So click on OK. So before that, change the type to matte and click on OK. Click on OK again. Now we need to define column properties. So go to define and select column properties. Click on add new property. We have two types of columns. One of dimension 500 mm by 500 mm and another one of 600 mm cross 600 mm. So let the column 1 be 500 mm by 500 mm. Change the material to M40 grade concrete and enter the dimensions to be 500 by 500. Click on OK. Again add a new property. So for our convenience, let's change the name to be column 600 cross 600. Change the material to M40. Change the dimension to 600 mm. Okay. Let me change the name of the first column as well. So we have defined the two columns of 500 cross 500 mm and 600 cross 600 mm. Click on OK. Now go to define and click on soil subgrade properties. So there is already a property by name soil1. You can add a new property or modify the already entered soil property. So let's modify the already entered soil property here. Let the name be soil1 itself, and we need to enter the subgrade modulus. Subgrade modulus is given by SPC of the soil divided by allowable settlement. So for this problem, we will be taking the SPC of the soil to be 300 kN per meter square and allowable settlement to be 1 centimeters. So which gives us the value of subgrade modulus to be 3 into 10 to the power of 4 kN per meter cube. So let's enter 3 kN per meter cube. And click on OK. Click on OK again. Now we need to check the load pattern and load cases present. So let's go to define, click on load patterns. So a dead load and a live load patterns are present. So it's okay. Check the load cases. There are two load cases, dead and live. Having load case type to be linear static, which is okay. So now we need to define load combinations. So go to define, click on load combination, click on add new combo. We need to add two load combinations. One is ultimate load combination and the other one is service load combination. So let the first combination be comp1. Change the scale factor for dead load to be 1.5 and the live load to be 1.5 as well for the ultimate load combination. So this just check the strength, ultimate design selection, and click on OK. Again click on add new combo. So select the dead load and enter the scale factor to be 1 and enter the scale factor to be 1 for the live load as well. Now check service normal, initial and long term and click on OK. With this we have added two types of load combinations. One is for ultimate load combination and another one is for the service load combination. Click on OK now. Now let's draw the various elements of the mat foundation. So go to draw and click on draw slabs or areas. So check the property as if if the property is mat foundation, whatever you have defined earlier. So now just click on the corners of the grid one by one, on all the four corners of the grid, and come again to the first point and click on the first point to finish, to complete the mat foundations, the slab drawing. Now we have finished drawing the slab of 18 meter by 18 meter. So let's extend this slab by 2 meters on all the sides. So in order to do that, first close this tab, press escape on your keyboard. Now select the slab which we have drawn, just make a left click on the drawing. So check the selection here, 1 areas and 4 edges selected. So now once the slab is selected, we need to extend the slab by 2 meters on all the sides. So now after selecting the slab, go to edit, click on edit areas, click on expand or shrink areas, enter the offset value to be 2 meters. Since it is asking us to enter the value in terms of millimeters, 2 meters comes into 2000 millimeters. So click on OK. So we can see the slab got extended by 2 meters on all the four sides. Now we need to draw the columns on this slab. In order to draw the columns, go to draw and click on draw columns. Check the property to be column 500 cross 500. Let's first draw the columns of dimensions 500 mm by 500. So the columns will be resting on the slab. So select this to be none for the property below, and select the property above to be column 500 by 500. So height below will be 0, and let the height of the column below the length and up to the slab or the foundation will be 2 meters. So clicking on that, entering the value to be 2 meters for a height above. Now we are ready to draw the columns or place the columns. So 500 plus 500 mm columns will be coming on all the outer edges of the slab. Only 4 columns in the center will be of the dimension 600 cross 600 mm. So let's first draw the columns of dimension 500 mm by 500 mm. So first one will be here, point A1. Click on that and take 6 meters measurement. Center to center distance of all the columns are 6 meters each. So we have finished drawing the column 1. So this will be the column number 2, column number 3, this is column number 4, and again from here 6 meters, so column number 5. In this point, that is at grid point G7, we will be placing a column of dimension 600 mm by 600 mm. So even at grid point G13, a column of dimension 600 mm by 600 mm will have to be placed. So let's go to the next point. So place a column at grid point G19. Again, place a column here. Here. Press escape on your keyboard after drawing all the columns of dimension 500 mm by 500 mm. Now we need to draw columns of dimension 600 mm by 600 mm. Now again go to draw columns, change this property to be column 600 plus 600. Now draw those second type of columns. With this, we are done with drawing all the 16 columns here. So 4 by 4, which comes into 16 columns, 12 columns of dimension 500 mm by 500 mm, and 4 columns in the center are of the dimension 600 mm by 600 mm. Now we shall draw the design strips for this mat foundation. In order to draw the design strips, go to draw and click on draw design strips. So the width of the design strip will be 0.25 times L1 or 0.25 times L2, whichever is less. In our case, L1 and L2 both are equal to 18 meters. So 0.25 times 18 comes into around 4.5 meters. So let's take the width of the column strips or the design strips to be 4 meters. So enter the widths to be 4 meters. That is the start width from left, right, and end width left, right. Enter those values to be 4 meters. So the strip layer will be A. So let's consider the design strips parallel to x-axis to be strip layer A. Now draw the column strips in the direction of in the x direction. Just give a right click after finishing the drawing of a design strip. After drawing each design strip, in order to end the drawing of the strip, just give a right click outside the drawing of the mat foundation or whichever is the foundation. Now again draw another column strip. Now we are done with drawing the design strip layer A. Now let's draw the design strips in the y direction, that is design strip layer B. Just change the strip layer to B. The widths will be the same, that is 4 meters. We'll draw those strip layers in the y direction. So now we are done with drawing the design strip layer B as well. Now let's assign this support data soil properties and the loads to the columns and loads to the design strip layers. Close this tab. Just click on this slab. So okay, click escape. Press escape on your keyboard in order to exit from the option of drawing the design strips. Now click on this slab. So one area and 4 edges are selected. You can confirm it in this bottom left corner of the screen. Now go to assign. Go to support data, soil properties, and select the soil one. Click on OK. So the soil properties has been assigned to the mat foundation. Now we need to assign the loads to the columns and design strip layers. First let's go on adding the loads for all the columns, starting from the column number 1. So click on the exact center point of this column number 1, that's grid point A1. So confirm your selection, 1 point selected. Then go to assign, click on load data, point loads. So let's enter the assign the dead load first. So the value of dead load for this column number 1 is 1850 kilonewtons. So enter the value of 1850 kilonewton. The size of the load for punching shear is, it's nothing but the dimension of this column, that comes into 500 mm by 500 mm. So click on OK. Now you have to again click on the same point in order to select the same column, or else go to select and click on get previous selection. So whatever selection you did in the previous step, it gets selected again. So column number 1 is selected again. Now go to assign, select support data, so in load data, click on point loads, change the name to live load. So the live load is 797.6 kilonewtons. Size of load for punching shear will be the same. So click on OK. With this, we have assigned both dead and live loads to column number 1. You can verify it by right clicking on the grid point A1. So point object name 9. Go to loads, you can see here dead load of 1850 kilonewtons and live load of 797.6 kilonewton has been assigned. The load size is nothing but the size of the column, that's 500 mm by 500 mm. So click on OK. Similarly, we need to assign dead loads and live loads for all the remaining columns, and then we need to change the material type for the design strip layers. So again, now select column number 2. So one point selected. Go to assign load data, want loads. Change the load type to dead. To the value. All these values of loads, whatever I am entering here, I have got this from the analysis and design results of the building design 23-story building design, which I have already posted prior to this video. So from the results of that design, I have got these values, that is the dead load and live loads at the base of those columns, and I am entering those values in this software in order to design this mat foundation. You can verify the loads here. So dead and live loads have been assigned properly. Okay, that's fine. Now select the column number 6. Assign the load data for the column number 6. For column number 6, the dead load is 5414.9 kilonewtons. And don't forget to change these values of size of load for punching shear. The size of this column is 600 mm by 600 mm. So change these values, that's x dimension and y dimension, to 600 mm each. Click on OK. Similarly, enter or assign the live loads. Now we are entering the load values for the column number 8. So column 8 is of dimension 500 mm by 500 mm. So change these values again. Change the name to dead. So dead load value is 2752.1 kilonewtons. Live load value is 1300.3 kilonewton. Column number 10 is of dimension 600 by 600 mm. So change this to 600. Column 11 is also of the same dimension 600 mm by 600 mm. Column 12 is of 500 mm by 500 mm. So changes gain. Let me just check if I have entered the correct values of dead and live loads for all the columns. So just right click on each columns. So I have selected design strip layer, so you have to be accurate by selecting the column point loads, dead load and live loads. Let me just randomly check some other columns. So hope I have assigned the correct values to all the columns. So okay, we are done with assigning the loads for all the columns. Now we need to change the rebar material for the design strip layers. Also we need to assign the rebar material for the footing as well. So right click on the footing drawing, go to design tab and change the rebar material to HYST 500. Click on OK. Click on OK. So there is no need to assign the rebar material for the columns as they are already defined. So there is no need again to change the material, the rebar material for the columns. But we need to change the rebar material for the design strips. Now right click on each design strip and change the rebar material to HPAST 500. So with this we have changed the rebar material to HPAST 500 to all the design strips. Now we need to run analysis on this model. So go to run, click on run analysis, save the file. So the analysis results are ready. We can see the deformed shape, and if you just move your cursor on the model, you can see the displacement values at various positions of the foundation or the footing. So now again go to run and click on run analysis and design. So the design is ready. Now let's check the shear punching shear design. So for that, go to display and click on show punching shear design. So we can see the punching shear values to be less than 1 in all the columns. So this means the design is safe. If any of these values are greater than 1, then that means that the shear falling on that particular column is exceeding the shear capacity of that part of the foundation. So we will have to um, change the thickness of the slab once again, or we will have to revise the design once again in order to achieve our design. So in this case, now it's not a problem since all these values are less than 1. So the design is okay. So now let's interpret the results whatever we have got now. So we can see the various results like strip forces. In order to see them, go to display, click on show strip forces and select the whatever design load case or load combination you desire. Select moment or shear, and you can select along which design strip layer you wish to see the strip forces and all, and click on apply. So if we just hover your cursor over the model, you can see the various values of the bending moments along the design strip layer A for the load combination 1. That's the ultimate load combination. So you can see this. Likewise, we can see it for the shear force and layer B as well. So just click on apply. You can see these are the shear force values along the strip layer B for the load combination 1. Now just close this tab. Now go to display, click on show slab design. So just check this impose minimum reinforcing and click on apply. So this gives us the top and bottom reinforcements of the slab along the design strip layer A. You can just change those whatever you wish to see. Like if you want to see the reinforcement values along the layer B, just check this one and then check the layer A and click on apply and close. Now you can see the top and bottom reinforcements along the design strip layer B. So again go to display, click on show slab forces or stresses, and you can select the load case or load combination whichever you want. Let's check the maximum bending moment for now. Click on apply. So these are the bending moment values what you can see for the ultimate load combination. So now let's see the crack widths. So go to display and click on show crack widths. So let's see the crack widths for the dead loads at the location slab bottom face. Let's see the crack widths at the bottom face of the slab. So click on apply. So these are the various cracks formed at the bottom face of the slab, and each color um, represents certain value of crack width. We can see the scale here. these values are raised to the power of 10 power minus 3. So the crack widths are very very less. You can see the crack width here is 0.122 mm. So it's too less. So it's not a problem. The design is okay as of now. So now let's run the detailing now. So go to run and click on run detailing and check all these three boxes and click on OK. So now we can see the detailing diagram of our matte foundation here. Expand these drawing component views, expand the slab views. You can check the rebar table here. Just double click on whatever you wish to see. So this is the rebar table. You can see the bar marks, diameter of the bars, the cut lengths, number of bars, total length of that bar used. All the details are here. You can click on rebar schedule as well. You can also see the bill of quantities, what amount of different the various sizes of bars which are required. That's also is calculated here. The bars of 12 they are 2.86 tons of 12 dia bars are required. So just expand the individual slab views here, expand the matte one, double click on the rebar plan. Now we can see the rebar plans here and zoom in to see. These are the details of the reinforcements provided for our matte foundation. You can also see the reinforcement profile layer along layer A and layer B. This displays the profile of the reinforcement distributed in either directions. That's in along strip layer A and strip layer B. So with this, we have finished designing the matte foundation for the building.